Hi guys, and welcome back. This week, I am not gonna lie, I had zero inspiration on what it was that I actually wanted to create, come up with. I was just drawing absolute blanks. But I did get on my Pinterest boards and I just typed in some ideas. I was inspired by this wind chime is what it's called under the board, or under the idea. But it reminds me almost of like a mobile type situation, like that you hang above, a crib. And I had been looking at bookmarks and making bowls out of this clay, which I'm going to do that too. I did get a lot of different ideas, but this one stuck out to me because 2 days ago on our front porch, I was talking to my husband about how I wanted to get some more wind chimes for the spring and the summer. And so when this, I guess your phone listens to you or whatever, because this popped up and I was like, I don't have to buy any wind chimes. I have so many trinkets and just things that I've saved and they've had no purpose that's exactly what I will work on this week. So this is an inspo pick. We have, some different ideas down here. They did like branches. This one's gorgeous. This one is like spoons. Look at those. Absolutely gorgeous and just so fun. So that's the inspiration this week. It stuck out to me over anything else, though I did save a lot of other ideas for future videos. But I gathered a bunch of different items that I had. So this is why this works so perfectly, because I just have random things that I hang on to because I'm like, oh, I will use that eventually for something. So I saved a bunch of different pieces of jewelry in my jewelry box. I thrift a lot of this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this or thrift yourself, but in thrift stores, they will sell like big bags of jewelry and things in bulk, and you don't really pick any of it. You just purchase the bag and it comes with whatever's in there. So there's a lot of different things that I have that are going to work amazing. I have these little earrings, which I would technically wear for Halloween, except over the years, I've lost limbs, and I don't know where this one's head is, but I'm missing a head. Look at this cool, I don't even know where this came from, but I have this cool dragon claw with a little marble in it. And then, I have old glasses with no lenses. Here's a splitter. Yeah, a splitter from Radio Shack. Is there even Radio Shacks anymore? I don't think there are. This door piece. These we bought for our kitchen cabinet, and they were wrong, and I'm pretty sure my husband for some reason gets so irate about doing returns that somehow we just never end up returning it. But guess what? Now we can use this and it can just be swinging in the wind. These, I don't know if you guys watched the necklace video I did, but guess what? I said in it, where does this open? Yeah. I said in it that I did not, where are they? Was it these? No, they were these. I did not like these. They were awful, even though it does kind of look like a music note up there. That's actually kind of beautiful. But I can use these, and I said that in the video that I would find use for them. So maybe we'll string like a line of all of these, like Chris mismatched in there, which is different ones, because that would be cool. And then I have this small box. I'm just trying to show you guys some of the things I had gathered because I obviously won't, I don't think I will use all of these. Here's a mood ring that was in my jewelry box, and it's so fun. Here's a doll leg. Some chain. But I'm showing you because I might not use all of this, or I might end up making multiples of these depending on what I end up laying out for an idea. Oh, here we have the head. That's his little head. So we're definitely going to use those, I think. We got a tiny little baby one. Look at this guy. And then we just have little charms, which are so cute. Oh, look, this one says made with love. And that's what this will be made with. Just like a homemade, you know, come up with the idea on the spot. We're definitely going to use that. Butterflies. These are just all little trinkets that I guess I've collected because I love floral. This heart is so cute, and little butterflies. I have this scorpion box because I have this necklace and it's resin, and inside of it is a scorpion, and it's on like a lanyard. But the box, this box was way too cool to throw away. So, oh, and I also have beads right here. So I actually figure I'll do some of these like super shiny reflective ones, because when it's out in the sun, it will hit, and then just hopefully it will make some type of reflective. These are really cute too. Those would reflect probably pretty well. But we'll see how it all comes together. I also have 2 different types of fishing line. This was what I used for my necklace, and I said in the video I would find so much purpose for this, which I did. This was the stuff I originally had, so it was pretty dark. That's why I didn't use it. It's just like a green or a gray almost. And then I have this like a twine, and then also obviously wire. So that was, oh, and we're also going to use, I think, these bigger pearls. I would like to do strands of those somewhere. But this was all the supplies basically. And I'm going to just wing this whole thing. We're going to construct it and see what we come up with. We should start with the bones of it. So I'm going to create, I loved the circle, just the plain circle design that I showed you in the beginning, but I also think that it needs more. I would love more going on. So like I said, that is an inspo pick, and we'll just kind of start with that skeleton of it with just the circle, but then I'd like to build into it a little, so we'll see. I also want to keep it not giant, because since it's the first one I'm going to make, I'd like to keep it, I don't know, more medium-ish. I don't want it too small. A lot of those items are larger. So we're gonna maybe do how about like right there? Okay, we're gonna start right there. And in my head, it's gonna go kind of close that so it's not so pokey. It would All right, let's try to straighten this out a pinch. I don't need it perfect, but I need to start with a better circle than that. I'm already jumping ahead in my brain and going, oh, you need the middle. Let's straighten the base of it. Okay, that looks pretty nice. Now, this part, we also need to straighten across. It's probably like right there, right? So now we have it cut in half. We're gonna twist that little guy around, and then we're gonna cut it. Okay, now let's get rid of this edge. There we go. That part's a little too stuck out still for me, even though no one's really gonna be, you know, able to hold on to this or touch it. So, all right, so this is our main concept. It's an end frame, yes. And then I would like to, this is just an example, but then I would like to put some here, here, and here, and make it almost look like a little cut pizza. This could be the hanging, this could be this amount could be like the hook, you know, part. So we'll hang on to this. We can still purpose, you know, have that as a purpose. But let's do the, every time I get a project like this where I come up with something that's so inspiring or that I love the idea of, I am like, I'm gonna make 100 of these and it's gonna be so awesome. So I should probably calm down and see if I like my first one. But so far, I just love a project that has no layout. So I'm just free to do whatever I want with it. That's just my favorite way to work. Okay, let me... Also, I'm sure everybody in 2025 or a majority of people have a Pinterest, but it's pretty much my only social media besides YouTube. It's not pretty much. It is my only social media besides YouTube. And when I don't know what's even going on creatively with myself, I can just search an idea or something I was thinking of, and some type of inspiration is going to come up and almost realign your brain. I love Pinterest. I think that it is such a good, this one is very, let's cut it across first and then I'll go back in and tighten that. But Pinterest for me is such a community. I feel like there's never any drama on Pinterest. Everyone's just there to share what they love. I'm sure there's negativity. I personally do not come across a lot of it on there, which is why I appreciate that platform so much. I think people are there to share their ideas and things they love, and I am there for it. I think that is what social media is for. And so I love Pinterest, and here's a reason that is playing out because of Pinterest. Like, I had no inspiration this week. I was barely motivated to make a YouTube video this week. And I thought, well, I would not miss my Friday uploads, so I have to inspire myself somehow. But, you know, we all have weeks where we're just not, there we go, where we're not feeling it, you know? And this just so happened to be a week for me. But Pinterest really changed that for me. straighten this out a little. And then that middle piece is going to connect, you know, and make it a little more stable. But I think we need 2 more. So what I'm going to do is, you saw the first 2 slice, you know, the little slices made. I'm just going to go ahead, and so I don't bore you with it, but I'm going to add in, you know, 2 more pieces to make a few more little slices, and then I'll come back and show you the results. All done. Just looks like a little metal pizza or a wheel. I guess that could be a wheel. And now we're gonna connect, somehow center these. That's not a center, but you know what I mean, like make them a little more together because they're all wanting to work away from each other. But let's okay, hang on. I want to keep more slack down here. There we go. And we're going to try to like squeeze that in all together. Okay. I know that's looking wild. Maybe it's not everybody's aesthetic, but I was actually drawn to this project because, and I've said this in past videos, I am a sucker for textures. So if it doesn't make any sense together, like metal with floral or a chain with a string, like I just want the difference in texture. I think that is incredibly interesting. So this looks like, to somebody else, it's just hot garbage. This is what I want in things. Okay, so we'll leave that little hook. I feel like maybe I should have had a little more length, but that's okay. We're gonna twist this over. Maybe give it a little more length. Also, yeah, that looks cute. Look, it looks like a little umbrella. How stinking cute is that? And it's all just like bendy. This could probably be a little tighter, but I don't know. I kind of like how that... There, that gave us more slack too. That was actually useful. So we can bend that up a little and then back. And it gave us a little bit of a longer hook. There we go. All right, so there is our bones. And now, this was fun, but now the fun part is stringing the beads and adding all of the little layers to it. So that's what we're going to get into next. I think I'm going to start with the pearls. In my head, I think that will break up some of the harshness to the metals and the different textures. So we'll do some soft, like, beautiful things. Not that the, metal isn't beautiful, but it's beautiful in a different way. So we'll do some more like, I would assume this is more earthy than, man-made in a sense. So we're gonna begin the treacherous treacherous stringing of the beads. And I'm going to do a string or two of these and I'll come back and show you. So once again, I don't have to bore you guys. Oh, you know what else we should do? Is not only pearl, like not only the big pearls, but we should do some smaller ones as well. Oh my goodness, that was wild. Let's see. We're gonna add some small ones too for the texture. So we start with that one there, and then we'll do a small guy. I've had so much coffee today. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my hands are jittery. Hello? Like, how much coffee can you drink in the morning? Okay, so see the concept there? I'll tell you what, you shouldn't do that if you're gonna do something so tedious. All right, so there we go. Oh, look how so stinking cute. So I'm gonna make a couple strands of these. I'll come back and show you, but look at that texture. I got a little carried away, and I'll say it again, stringing beads is not for the weak. It is such a tedious little job. So I went ahead and did the beading, you know, the jewels as well. I did one pearl set where the big ones will be at the top, one pearl set where the little ones will be at the top. It also created this like little flower when I tied it, so I thought that was kind of cute, left that. Then I did a strand of just golds, whites, silver, and left it to where it'll hang from this direction. And then I did kind of a mix-all. So I did some white to match the pearls. I did like an off-color pearl. I also did some more like earthy tones to match those, but not really match. They just kind of coordinate. And I did some of the original jewels in this one also. Oh, also I added the little Made with Love charm. So from doing the beading, I think I'm steering towards using a lot of the jewelry that I have. And so it will be different textures of the jewels and charms. And I have like lockets that I could string on one string with, I found this little clip-on earring in the beads over here, which these have little charms in them and such too. But while I was stringing all these and going through it, oh yeah, I can use this also. The little dragon's foot will go in there somewhere. Maybe with the watches. Maybe we'll do like watch dragon's foot. We'll do something along the lines of that. Oh, and then some of these. Possibly some buttons will fit in there too with the texture. Every time I move something, I take out my whole desk. Okay, so this is the textures we're going for. I'm just kind of putting it all together. Possibly could use this chain, I would assume, somewhere in it. But we're going to stick with this type of texture. And then in another video, I am going to use these hardware pieces because I think I could construct it differently also, where it's just like a lot of heavier pieces. I don't know. That's for another video. But for right now, we've kind of figured out. See, I don't even think the skeletons would match. Oh, you know what we could do is intertwine, like, yeah, we could use these. And see, they kind of coordinate with the colors of this. And then that way it would kind of make it a little creepier, I guess. Anyway, that's what we're going to go for, is more of a jewelry texture. So now that I have all my little beaded string pieces done, we're going to just start to assemble them on the base and see what we come up with. That's pretty much the next step. I think that I want to put the beads on the on the outskirts of this. So let's do that first. Let's tie these on there. This is so tricky to... There we go. Okay, so we're gonna hook it. As close to the beading as we can. There we go. I feel like this is how not to tie something, but let's try to get this a little closer. There we go. Okay. That took entirely too long. Okay, so we're going to tie these on. I might just skip ahead to save you from ever having to watch this. But before I do, can I just say I did check I put up a Q&A question last night, or post on YouTube, about if anybody had any questions for a Q&A. When I put it up, I was like in my head going, no one is ever going to comment on this post, okay? But I had accepted it, and I was like, that's fine. If I don't put myself out there, I'm never going to know, right? And I just checked it because I told myself I wasn't going to check it, just because I didn't want to, I guess, have, I don't know, that mindset or something. So I just checked it. Here's number 1. Is it on there? It's not in frame. What's new? So here's the first one tied on there. But what I was saying is there are 3 comments with so many questions under the comments. And I am very thankful for those, by the way. So thank you if you commented. And also, it makes me so excited. So if you're watching this right now and you do have a question for a Q&A, you can either go to that post and put it under there, or you could even do it under this video, I guess, since I'm mentioning it. But thank you to whoever commented so far, and it made my day to like look on there and see any kind of question. I don't care if it's goofy or just off the wall. It's the fact that it's even commented that makes it surreal for me, because I seriously thought I would look back and it'd be empty, which is fine too. Like I said, I had accepted that and was like, okay, if nobody puts a question down, I'm in the same exact boat that I'm in. Who cares? But you guys are putting stuff down there, and it's so exciting. Here is the first thing tied on there. I'm gonna tie the other beads, and I'll be right back. Here's what it looks like so far. We have 2 sides of the beads and 2 sides of the pearls. Now I'm just gonna keep stringing together. I know this looks wild, but it's so cute. And this is just the start of it. So now I'm going to string together the other like pile of jewelry and things I put there, and we'll add those on. It's just hard to show it on camera from above because you can't see how it hangs. But I did do everything a little bit of a different length also, so you get the different, like almost depth to it. So I'm just gonna put it overhead again, we'll make some more chains, and then we'll attach them, and it's so cute. Well, luckily enough, these are pretty much chains in themselves, so I'm gonna just have to add fishing line to these, or yeah, I'll just do fishing line. So this one I'm gonna set aside, this one I'm gonna set aside. These are pretty much chains. I might need to add a little link. I have some links in here to repair that part. Oh, and there's one here as well, even though it still has its links. So we'll do some repairs to this, but those two are pretty much set up for us. So we need to do, let's get this guy off here. This, and I would think this. We could do these as well. And set. I don't like this one though. I don't like the jewels on that. I think that doesn't look very, I don't know. I'm not like a bedazzle-y, but this looks old and rustic, as well as this. This would be the locket to it, or the padlock, I guess. So maybe we should do these all on a, ooh, you know what we should do? So what we'll do is we'll cut down some of this chain and we'll link these into the chain. But we'll do 2 sets of it. And then on the 3rd set, we'll add these little guys, or one of these guys, I'm not sure yet. And then I'm also gonna do some type of patterned chain with a combination of these also. So I'm actually gonna do that as well off camera, and I will bring you back when it's all completed. Let me see real quick if I can cut the chain on this though with my wire cutters. So I would say about right here. That's like a fake looking link. Yeah, I don't know. These aren't even gonna. Okay, we'll just guesstimate like right there. Is that gonna cut? I just had a shard fly away, but that's okay. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to work on these little links, and when I get them laid out and designed, I'll bring you back. I did not show hardly any of the filming on making these chains because it was a hot mess. This was very difficult. I keep trying to challenge myself with these tedious little ideas because I really do love this, but it was a lot of fumbling and a lot of trying to figure it out, but I accomplished it. And this is the first chain. It's got the little hearts, lockets, keys. Let me clean this off a little. There we go. So there's chain number 1. Turned out so good. Here was the ones I showed you before. These are just going to be how they are, but I did repair this one. I just hooked the link back where it was missing here, and then I fishing lined the one that was missing. So those are about the same length and both textured. Then I'm assuming I'm going to put these guys in the middle as like the centerpiece, but I hooked this tiny guy and the bigger guy. And I used, this guy was originally missing his arm, so I used an arm from my other one. So now he's complete, and this I think will be the middle. I did this one here. It just has a bunch of mismatched little charms. I kind of put that flower there to coordinate with that. So there's a little mismatched chain. I also ended up using the chain from where I got the key and the locket, because I thought those textures would be pretty well mismatched also. And I also repurposed it that way instead of just having to put it aside. I have my watch chain. So I put both my chains on, or both my locket watches on there, and this button which coordinates with this one here, and it has buttons, little tiny moon, another button, and a little tiny sun. Oh, there's another button up here too. So this has a totally different texture. All of this is mismatched, exactly what I wanted. It just took forever to hook everything on there, but it's done now. So what I'm gonna do is hook everything to my bones of the project. And when that's all hooked on, I'm definitely gonna save you the pain of watching that, because I'm sure that's gonna be just as fumbly and difficult placing them as even putting the charms on there were. So once I get all that placed, I'm going to come back and I'll show you the final piece, and I'm so excited to see how this turned out. But look at all the textures, just not even hooked up. That's exactly what I was going for. So we'll see what it looks like all put together. It's all put together. Ta-da! This is going to be the scariest thing you've ever seen, and you're like, put that away, or you're gonna love it. The sun's actually out right now. It's coming through the window. This is it's doing nothing, but I can't decide if this should go on my porch or if I should put it in my office, because it would look really cool over there in the window. Let me see if I can show you without like... Okay, I moved my camera to show you the window, and I shut it off, and then I did the whole outro. So let's try this again. But I was thinking I could put it up here in my window, and that's a possibility. But I don't know. It might go on the front porch. I'll show you maybe a final piece whenever I do decide and have it hung. But I think it turned out exactly how I wanted it. I did have some issues when I hooked the pieces on, the heavier ones. I had kind of not thought the weight distribution out, so I changed a few things because it was all weighed down on one side. So I would have thought that out a little better for maybe the next one. And I also think next time I could possibly do like a double wiring up here. I don't know, but this was super interesting to figure out how this works, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. So if you watched the whole video, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Ta-da! I did leave it in here. I hung it up in my office right on the pull for my light, almost like a chandelier. It is too cute and too mismatchy for taking it out of here. It just makes sense in here. But I'll make another one, I think, for outside. But look at how cute it is. It just looks like it belongs in here. And then all my skeletons just match all my creepy guys. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.